busiest travel day for aviation in America's history this week. I have a couple of friends that are flying right now as we speak. And I know it's going to be crazy. How many of you are hitting the road? How many of you are traveling? Are you guys, Dave and Phil, are you guys driving anywhere? Are you going to stay home?
I'm not leaving right here and having my turkey right here.
And your turkey pot pie?
Turkey steak pie.
Yeah, we had some family stuff that was going to go on, but then Adelaide's siblings got sick, and so they kind of canceled Thanksgiving, and so Adelaide and I are probably just going to eat it.
Okay, the networks are down, the equipment is ready, and we've crippled their supplies. Mrs. Rackman has written our check and given us the green light. We're good to finally move on that submarine and stop this threat once and for all. When you're ready, get your crew together and head back to planning.
Chat here, and thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. All right, let's get into this story. You know all of those U.S. soldiers who refused to inject themselves with an experimental vaccine? You know what happened to all of them, right? We've covered these stories here on the show. They were kicked out of the United States military, that's right, and they were given involuntary discharge papers in most instances. It varied from person to person, but it was not honorable. They got their discharge papers, they got their walking papers. You don't want a experimental vaccine? Sorry, it's mandated under the Secretary of Defense. You've got to get out.
Do you know, does that kind of act like a dishonorable, where you can't get home loans and stuff, like their life is pretty much disrupted because of that kind of, or is it different?
I'm not exactly sure, and maybe Grim can tell us, who's a veteran here, what exactly that means, but I know that it's not dishonorable where you've got like this tarnish on you, where you can't then get a job, or where you're dishonorably discharged, you can't get home loans or anything like that. No. It just means that I don't believe you do. I don't think you get the benefits. I think that's what it means. So you don't have a tarnish on you, but you certainly don't get the benefits of having served and getting out with an honorable discharge, if I'm not mistaken. Grim, let me know in the chat, or other veterans here as well, let us know. But also, there was different variations and gradations to how people were discharged. So it wasn't just like a blanket, structure like that, where you're involuntarily discharged. Others had different reasons for it, but the Pentagon was almost gleeful about it at the time. You remember this, right? They were posting official statements to the news outlets to shame these people. Air Force discharges 24 or 27 for refusal to get COVID vaccine, and the Associated Press, of course, which is a mouthpiece of the Pentagon, went along with it in those headlines there. Here's another one. Army cuts off more than 60,000 unvaccinated Guard and Reserve soldiers from pay and benefits with their disloyal discharge. Their involuntary discharge. Involuntary discharge. And don't worry, because kicking all of these people out won't hurt America's recruiting numbers at all, they told us. Yeah, that's what they told us. This is Marine Corps Lieutenant General David Oddington told lawmakers across the force for readiness. There's no one community that has signaled an instance where a leader or an NCO or another enlisted Marine is not present because of that. Of course, this all came from the top, from the Pentagon, right from the top, from the head of the Pentagon himself, Lloyd Austin, and the Biden White House. There he is. In case you can't remember what he looks like, here he is. This is what double-vaxxed and twice-boosted Secretary of Defense.
It's walked off the set of like a Star Wars prequel.
Right. It's like Spaceballs. I think
Naboo Navy, yeah.
Naboo Navy, yes. I think he almost looks like Darth Helmet, right, from like Spaceballs or something like that. Like,
oh yeah, Dark Helmet.
Dark Helmet, yeah. Yeah, this is the leader of the United States military. I mean, look at this guy, this joke. Keeping America safer by kicking out members of the military, arguably the healthiest Americans that we have, because they wouldn't get vaccinated. They were already the healthiest population in the United States to begin with, and so we needed them to get vaccinated? He's a true hero. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. He also made a lot of money serving on the board of Tenet Healthcare and Raytheon, by the way. He had to absolve himself of those boards when he, of course, took the role under the Biden administration. So you know where his loyalties are, though. Gotta make some money for the healthcare industry, get all these guys vaxxed. It turns out Dark Helmet realized he screwed up big time, and is now begging those unvaccinated heroes to come back. Please come back to the United States military. We'll even burn those discharge papers and give you your benefits back. I can't believe this, but these are letters now being sent out. Former unvaccinated members of the military are receiving letters like this now in the mail. Reading, and I'll quote right from the screen here. We write to notify you of the new Army guidance regarding the correction of military records for former members of the Army following rescission of the COVID-19 vaccination requirement. As a result of the rescission of all current COVID-19 vaccination requirements, former soldiers who were involuntarily separated for refusal to receive COVID-19 vaccinations may request a correction of their military records from either or both the Army Discharge Review Board or the Army Board for Correction of Military Records. Oh, so they can now get their discharge just wiped away with a moist towel. But then paragraph 3. Individuals who desire to apply to return to service should contact their local Army, U.S. Army Reserve, or Army National Guard recruiter for more information. In other words, we'd love you back. We'd love you to come back. So it's simple as that. Well, no, it's not as simple as that.
Wait, did anyone on that letter say anything about Backpay?
I didn't see anything about Backpay.
For all of the pay that we didn't get?
No, I don't see anything unless I'm missing it here. Personal records, required characterization, discharge. No, just the